Growing up, I had a neighbor who was a carpenter. Nothing fancy, just small town jobs, fixing sagging doors, building dining tables, mending leaking roofs that are patched more times than you could count. His hands were rough like a tree bark, and his knees creaked like old floorboards. No one gave him awards. No crowd gathered to watch him work. But here was, but he had a quiet pride about him, the kind that comes not from money, but not the kind that comes from fame either, but from knowing that you built something that mattered, something that would last. When I think of Saint Joseph, I think of that neighbor, and I realize something, that holiness often wears work boots, not halos. Joseph wasn't a king or a scholar, a prophet or a miracle worker. He was a carpenter, a man who built tables and cradles, doorways and dreams. In a town like Nazareth, carpenters were needed but not celebrated. There were no awards for the best cabinet maker, no headlines for an outstanding local dad. Just day after day, steady work and steady love. Imagine Joseph coming home after a long day. Maybe he built a fence for a farmer who then tried to pay him with vegetables instead of coins. Maybe his tools broke. Maybe the pay didn't come on time. He trudges home tired, only to see that the leaky roof at his own house needs fixing too. In fact, the entire Bible tells us that work is sacred. In the beginning, God placed Adam and Eve in a garden, not in a palace, and gave them the task of tending it. Work was part of paradise, not a punishment. And after Eden, it became a way to love, even in the struggle. Joseph and Mary probably dreamed of a very simple life, a good home in Nazareth, work that paid the bills, a happy family. But then came the detours. Mary's unexpected pregnancy, a government order to travel to Bethlehem at the worst possible time. There was no Uber to Bethlehem, no hotel reservations. Joseph might have muttered, "Really, Lord, right now?" A donkey ride to Bethlehem with a pregnant wife. And again, fleeing in the dead night to Egypt to save their child's life. Choosing desert lands, living as migrants in a foreign country, scrapping together a living however he could. And none of it was on Joseph's map. And yet, at every fork in the road, Joseph chose trust over fear. But he kept going, not because he had all the answers, but because he trusted that even broken roads could lead to God's promises. And on this special feast day of St. Joseph the worker, we also turn to Mary, his beloved spouse, and crown her as queen. Just as Joseph labored with love and protected the Holy Family, Mary nurtured it with tenderness and prayer. And together, they show us how the quiet faithfulness of family life becomes a path to holiness. And isn't that our story too? You and I don't live smooth, picture perfect lives. Probably we plan good things, steady job, peaceful homes, healthy families, obedient kids. Instead, sometimes we get layoffs, hospital visits, broken appliances, sleepless nights worrying about our kids' future. We end up patching broken dreams with too little time and too little patience. Parents staying up late worrying about their children's choices. Teachers pouring into students who may never remember their names. workers saving penny by penny to give their family a better life, grandparents praying quietly for their grandchildren. They all are planting seeds they know they won't live to harvest. And Joseph stands beside us with closed hands on our shoulders and says, "You are still on God's road. Keep walking." You may not get applause. There may not be trumpets or headlines. But somewhere in heaven, St. Joseph, the carpenter, the dreamer, the detour taker, is smiling at you with quiet pride. Because in every hard road you walk with love, you are building something eternal. You are laying the foundation for resurrections you cannot yet imagine. So if your life today feels like a messy detour, take heart. You are in good company with St. Joseph. And where St. Joseph walks, God's dreams are still alive. St. Joseph, pray for us. Mary, Queen of the Rosary, pray for us.